What's up out there, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Keith Barnes, and this is another top 10 list. This one is the top 10 most anticipated geek films of 2019. This is my personal list. Lot of big time geek movies coming out this year. We've got a big uptick in some of our comic book and science fiction-y and Star Wars and superheroes and all that stuff. Big uptick the last few years, and 2019 is going to be no different. It's going to be a big year. Got a lot of big movies to talk about, so let's get to the list. So at number 10 on my list is Hellboy, which is a reboot of the original film series by Guillermo del Toro. It's a beloved series for a lot of people. Let's let you in a little secret. I've never actually seen these movies, Hellboy and Hellboy 2, The Golden Army. Never seen them all from start to finish. I really ought to. It's one of those ones I always meant to get to, and I just never got around to it. But I'm curious about this new one. It's a reboot of those films, and obviously it's based on the Dark Horse comic, and it's a very popular character. David Harbour, who's always been, he's one of those guys who's always been around. He's a great character actor. Obviously, his name's gotten bigger with the Stranger Things Netflix series, where people love him on there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. It's got a great cast. Mila Jovovich is in it. Ian McShane from Deadwood, he's going to be in it. It looks pretty interesting. Again, I'm somebody who I'm not as beholden to the original film series as a lot of people. So it's one that I'm looking forward to. I'm not sure how those people feel, but I'm looking forward to it. It's number 10 on my list, Hellboy. Alright, so number 9 on my list is New Mutants, which is a kind of an X-Men spin-off, I guess, of sorts. It's one of the New Mutants. This one's, I'm not really sure how to feel about this. It's taking a horror movie spin on it, which is, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it, but I'm curious about it. That's why it's on my list at number 9. Also, because the director, Josh Boone, who directed The Fault in Our Stars, he is from my hometown of Virginia Beach, Virginia, so I certainly want to support him on that. I wonder if he's a guy that I know. If I could run into him at some point and say, Josh Boone, hey, we're from the same place. But no, yeah, New Mutants, seems to follow a lot of horror movie tropes. It's got the poster has the big rubber wall with faces and hands pressing through it, which is something that's been done a million times. So I don't know how much interest I really have in that, but I am curious about it because I like the characters of like Wolfsbane and magic and stuff. New Mutants I had an old New Mutants comic I got. It's one of the first comics I got when I was a little kid, and there was an issue where Magneto actually took over the school. Charles Xavier, when he died, he actually in his will, in his will he asked for Magneto to take over the school, and so it's an interesting issue, and it's always an interesting concept. So the New Mutants taking over again, X-Men property. We're curious to see what's going to happen with it once Marvel Studios actually takes over these characters. So in the meantime, this one's number 9 on my list. It is New Mutants, and it's coming out in August of 2019. So number 8 on my list is another X-Men property. It is, of course, X-Men Dark Phoenix, the directorial debut of Simon Kinberg, who has been a Hollywood heavyweight for a long time. He's been around, but this is actually his first live-action directorial film. And it's another one that's kind of an X-Men thing, like I said on the last video with the New Mutants. This one's X-Men thing is it's up in the air, so I'm curious how they're going to close this out, or if any of these characters carry over into the new Marvel Cinematic Universe. We doubt it, so this may be the last time we see a lot of these characters. Obviously, McAvoy as Professor X and Michael Fassbender as Magneto, who have both been great through a number of movies in this X-Men series. This may be the last time we see them. It's going to be a good take on a new, hopefully better take on the Dark Phoenix saga than we got in X-Men The Last Stand. Jessica Chastain is in it. We're looking forward to seeing her in action. Sophie Turner coming back as Jean Grey, and all the characters. We get Quicksilver, who's had some standout moments in the last 2 X-Men movies. So, this one's number 8 on my list. I'm curious to see how it's going to turn out. So, X-Men Dark Phoenix, number 8 on the list. Pikachu. Oh boy. Now coming in at number 7 is Detective Pikachu. based on the Pokemon video game series, video game character. Look, I love the trailer for this, so this got me actually very interested in it. But I gotta say, I'm wandering into dangerous territory because I don't know anything. I literally don't know anything about Pokemon, anything about Pikachu. But again, I saw the trailer and I loved it, man. It looked really great. It looked funny. It looked really interesting. And talking to the guys, Jake and Brian, they're heavy in Pokemon, and I was really getting real education one day talking to them about this stuff, and it does sound interesting. So I'm looking forward to it. Ryan Reynolds putting I know a lot of people are going to say it's going to be kind of a little Deadpool vibe on the voice. There's no escaping that because it is Ryan Reynolds, and he's been so tied to Deadpool over the last couple of years. But the voice work, it sounds great as his character. Again, I don't know anything about it, but it looks funny, looks interesting, and from what I understand, it's Pikachu. It's kind of a very powerful character, so we'll see. I can't wait to see how it turns out. Technology looks pretty good, So based on my very limited knowledge on the subject, I think it looks great. So that's why I got it at number 7 on my list. Shazam. Coming in at number 6 on my list is Shazam, starring Zachary Levi as Shazam, not Captain Marvel, although Shazam is the original comic Captain Marvel. Based on the DC Comics character. Young Billy Batson says the name Shazam. He's a kid. He says Shazam, turns into a big hulking superhero who's a very powerful superhero. I'm curious to see how they do his powers in this movie, because Shazam in the comics is a very powerful character. And this one looks, they've taken a comedic spin on it. It's directed by David F. Sandberg, who directed Animal Creation and Lights Out. So he's got a horror background, so he's going to venture into kind of a superhero comedy thing. So that's going to be very interesting to see how that turns out. But the trailer looks great. Looks pretty funny. Looks interesting. Like I said, Zachary Levi coming over from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We saw him in the Thor movies. We know he was on TV as Chuck, so he was very funny. So it's interesting casting there. It looks great. DC's been hit or miss, we know, with some of their movies, but Aquaman was fine, and this one hopefully keeps the positive energy going for the DC films. And Shazam is gonna be an interesting one. He's a beloved character for a lot of people, so I got it at number 5 on my list. So, my actual number 5, I made a mistake into my last one and said that Shazam was number 5. Shazam was number 6. This one's number 5, and it is Joker. The new Joker film based on the DC Comics supervillain. It stars Joaquin Phoenix now taking over this iconic role. It's been played by a lot of great performances, a lot of great people in the past. Todd Phillips taking the helm on this one. He's known for a lot more comedies, so this one's going to be pretty interesting. The images of the Joker, I guess the story is he's a failed stand-up comedian who's driven insane for whatever reason. I've always been one that I don't like to have the Joker have a definitive origin or background. I just like that he's just a madman. No one knows who he is, where he came from, and no one can really figure out how to stop him. It's gonna be curious to see this Joker movie, another movie without Batman in it. Obviously, there's gonna be lots of references to Batman, maybe even some family members, people that are directly connected to him. Obviously, are gonna be in it. It's supposed to be set in the late 70s, early 80s. And I guess it's kind of an Elseworld situation, separated from the current DC Universe timeline in the film. So I got it at number 5 on my list because I'm curious about it. I do love the Joker. I like to see people's different takes on the Joker. I didn't think Jared Leto was that bad. He was a little goofy, but I didn't think he was terrible. I'm definitely curious to see Joaquin Phoenix take on the Joker, because he's a pretty intense actor, and the Joker obviously is a maniac. So I can't wait to see what happens in this one. So it is Todd Phillips' Joker, and it's number 5 on my list. Spider-Man, cool. All right, we're down to the final four, and coming in at number 4 on my list of geek films for 2019, my most anticipated geek film of 2019. Number 4 is Spider-Man: Far From Home, the sequel to the excellent Spider-Man Homecoming film from 2017. This one's coming out at a great time. It's coming out July 5th, so we're going to be coming off of our fireworks and hot dogs and our 4th of July celebration, and we're going to go straight into watching Spider-Man. This one's going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, if you love Spider-Man Homecoming, which I did very much, I love Tom Holland as Peter Parker / Spider-Man. Obviously, we saw what happened to him in Avengers Infinity War, so we don't know exactly where or when this is going to be taking place, what state the world's going to be in, how he's going to be around. If you saw Infinity War, you know what I'm talking about. You know what happened to Spider-Man in that movie, Peter Parker. So, yeah, man, this was going to be highly anticipated. It's going to come out obviously after Avengers 4, so we'll see what the resolution is going to be there in that one. But you know, all the cast is coming back. Zendaya coming back as MJ. Whatever, okay, just MJ, not Mary Jane, but she's great. We loved her. She was really great in the last one. Jacob Batalon as his buddy Ned. Michael Keaton's supposed to be coming back in this one as well. And obviously Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio, which is going to be very cool to see Mysterio coming to live action. So number 4 on my list is Spider-Man: Far From Home. Okay, so now it's number 3. We're down to number 3 on my list, and it is Star Wars Episode 9. Untitled. We don't know what it's called yet. Hopefully we'll be getting that very soon. It's going to be a big year for Star Wars. You know, last half of 2018 was fairly quiet for Star Wars stuff, and that's good. You know, J.J. Abrams is coming back. He's just knocking it out, bringing all the cast back. We know we got some new additions. One of his actors that he uses a lot, Kerry Russell's going to be in this one. But other than that, yeah, all the familiar people: Rey, Finn, Poe. All the familiar faces, Kylo Ren, of course, who's taken over the First Order. He's the big bad guy now. And listen, it's Star Wars. What can you say? It's Episode 9. Going to close out this new trilogy, which has been, at minimum, it's just been okay. But it's been pretty great. We've loved all these movies so far. You know, regardless of what you feel about The Last Jedi, I thought it was fine. It's probably not one I'm going to revisit too much often, but I can't wait for this one. I can't wait to see what J.J. Abrams does to bring this thing home. And yeah, we'll see let's see how things going to resolve itself. If it does, if not, you know, light side, dark side. Battle's probably going to be going on forever, but can't wait to see Rey come into her power and see her back and forth with Kylo Ren and all the crazy stuff they got going on with the Force. And yeah, man, it's going to be great. Probably the last time we'll see Carrie Fisher, which of course is going to be sad, but listen, we can't wait to see Star Wars. It's going to be a December thing. December is Star Wars time. It was kind of weird not having Star Wars this past December, but it's coming back. Episode 9 is number 3 on my list. We can't wait. Star Wars Episode 9. Captain Marvel. Okay. All right, so number 2, my number 2 most anticipated geek film of 2019 is Captain Marvel. Brie Larson taking on this role as Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel. Super powerful. She's Kree or not Kree or half Kree or has Kree blood or was given her powers from. I don't know. Don't care. It's great. Looks awesome. Yeah, this is going to be a big one. It's going to be a big one. It's coming out very shortly. It's coming out in early March. And obviously it's going to be the precursor to Avengers 4, which we're going to get to in a second. Yeah, man, it's going to be set in the 90s, which is really cool. Get some shots of Blockbuster Video in there. We know we saw the pager at the end of Avengers Infinity War, so we know that's going to be a big thing in this movie. We got a DH, Samuel L. Jackson, reprising his role as Nick Fury with hair and no eye patch. We got Skrulls, and we got a lot of shape-shifting, and we got Jude Law, and a lot of space stuff, and we see Ronan the Accuser, know him from Guardians of the Galaxy. He's coming back in this movie. Phil Coulson's coming back. This is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see Captain Marvel and Brie Larson in this role, and yeah, that's why I got it number 2 on my list, man. This is going to be a big one. So Captain Marvel, number 2 on my list. All right, so this is it. This is the big one, number one. This is the big one for the year for me personally, and it is Avengers Endgame, of course. And this is going to be Avengers 4, and it's going to follow up a big one, a big way, Avengers Infinity War, which ended horribly for a lot of people, a lot of characters in this universe. And if you've been following this, as I have from the beginning, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's pretty devastating. So we're definitely looking forward to seeing how they recover and recover from this, and how they bring the world kind of back to normal if they can. I can't wait for this, man. This is going to be again. We said it about Avengers: Infinity War, but this one also again. This feels like the culmination of a lot of characters, a lot of character building for the last several years, and yeah, it's going to be a big one, and everything's going to be different afterwards. Pretty sure. Who knows which of these characters or actors we'll see in this universe again? The Russo brothers, ever since Captain America: Winter Soldier, they've been great in the way they run things in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I can't wait to see how this thing closes out. You know, all the characters we know. We're pretty much down to the core Avengers of Iron Man and Hulk and Black Widow and all that stuff, Captain America. So yeah, it's the big one, man. Avengers Endgame's coming out in April, and it's gonna be a monster. So we can't wait to see how this one turns out. That's why, of course, I have it on my list at number 1, Avengers Endgame. All right, so that's it. That's the list. That's my list, anyway. Tell me what your list is. What are your most anticipated geek movies of the year? Are you looking forward to Avengers? Are you looking forward to Star Wars? Of course you are. Any of those ones from the bottom maybe you're looking forward to more than I am? Hellboy. Tell me about Hellboy. Tell me about Pikachu. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to those, man. I can't wait to see what those how those ones turn out. So comment below, click thumbs up, share it with your friends, and again, tell us what you think. And thank you for joining us on this one. My name is Keith Barnes, and this is Apocalypse Movies, and we'll see you next time.